I was in Kawasaki Correctional Facility from 1998 till 1999. Then I went to the box, and then I went to Attica. I was in Attica from 99 to like early 2001. And then I went to a medium. My classification dropped. I went to a medium. And then I caught a stabbing. I stabbed a nigga, and then I went to the box again. I had like a few fights, and then I think a stabbing, and I went to Orleans double bunk box. And then I went to Auburn Correctional. No, I went to a few other spots, but I was in Auburn Correctional Facility from 2003 to 2005. So somewhere out those three maxes, I was with Mel Cross in two of them. Maybe all three, but I know I was with Mel Cross in two of the maxes. I bumped into him during my bid twice. Smooth dude. Never was a knucklehead. You know, I didn't see that part of him. Never was like grimy or nothing. You know, just was like real smooth and like quiet and kind of militant. And that was a good thing. My Muslim name, my Islamic name is Ayan Sheikh. In Arabic is Sheikh Hadid. Ayan is the 57th surah of the Quran. My jail name is Man-Child. I'm the original Man-Child. I'm the original Man-Child. Later on during my bid, like four different bloods adopted the name Man-Child. All of them got cuts on their face. All four of them. I don't got no cuts on my face. I never, I came home in one piece. Never been raped. Never been cut, never been stabbed. And that's by the grace of Allah. And that wasn't because I'm the toughest or whatever. That was because I was the smartest. I knew how to move smart. It ain't about being the toughest. Whoever's the best thinker win. That's with anything in life. But I was with Mel Cross in two of those maxes out those three, and maybe all three. Smooth dude, BX nigga. Cool dude. Mysonne. I knew Mysonne since we was in our early teens. We went to Martin Luther King High School together, 1990, 1991. Somewhere around there. But we was in Martin Luther King High School together. And, and his baby mom's, the mother of his son, is from my hood. His first child. You know what I'm saying? And, Mysonne played basketball, and he was good in basketball. And then, I don't know why he got kicked out of King. I left first because in Martin Luther King High School, you always had Bronx and Harlem, which was HBO, Harlem and Bronx only, against Brooklyn. And that was mostly Decepticons, Low Lives, the Guest Heads, or whoever else that was from Brooklyn, right? The HBO crew consisted of BBO niggas, ARN, Afro Kings, TDP, just a bunch of Bronx and Harlem crews, all formulated together, and that was HBO. But me and Mysonne went to high school together, and his child's mother, his first child mother's from my neighborhood. Good dude, always been sincere with me. Humble in my eyes, everybody got a dark side. We know a billion of the same people, right? Not a sucker, not a murderer, but not a sucker. He's not a sucker. If you back him into a corner, like something's gonna happen. It takes him time. It takes time. He's a patient person. So if somebody get him frustrated and he snap, then it do what it do. Everybody got different stories about different people. I'm just giving you my outlook and my vantage point and my aspect. Hassan Campbell. The first time I seen him was on Cortland. I'ma say like 91, 92. B.O. brung him through. Now the way Cortland Ave is, I call it the Gaza Strip. And I call my hood Baghdad, New York, because my hood consists of Park Ave, Cortland Ave, Melrose Ave, Elton Ave, 3rd Ave, and if you go the other way towards Conquest Village, it's Sheridan Ave, the back of Sheridan. That's Sheridan Ave on the 60s, Sheridan Ave on 157, 158th, and stuff like that. And then you got Grand Concourse, which is 840, right? So I call my hood Baghdad. You got the Brown Building on 161st. Cortland Ave is the Gaza Strip. I call it the Gaza Strip because on every block on Cortland, like it's numbers. I'm from 156. On every individual street, I'm from 156, you know. Every individual street, there's different crews, cliques, shooters, whatever. So Hassan used to come through in like, you know, the early 90s with B.O. You know, B.O. was a notorious stick-up kid, shooter from the Bronx. You know, rest in peace, B.O. I witnessed them clip 2 niggas next to me. Like I'm at a club in 2 different. There was one the club, the Fever on East Tremont, but I witnessed them tear niggas down, like put niggas under. I'm not saying that's a good thing. You know, it's a long story with that. That's a whole nother situation. But that's the first time I seen Hassan Campbell. Like, oh shit, light-skinned dude, curly hair, you know, Spanish nigga. That's what we thought. And, you know, he never really talked. And, you know, P.O. bring him around. He be gripped up. And he moved militant. Being that I was a dude, I never stayed on the block. I never was an on the block dude. I always traveled. I bumped into him. I didn't see him for a long time. Because, you know, I'm in Harlem. I'm in Brownsville. I got niggas all over. So I'm all over the city. I'm all over all 5 boroughs. I'm fucking with chicks from all over. You know, Richmond Hills and South Jamaica, Queens. I'm all over. Foch, Paisley. I'm all over. I'm all around. My first baby mother is from Mount Vernon. I got 2 baby mothers from Mount Vernon, but my first baby mother was from Mount Vernon. So I've been going to Mount Vernon since like 90, 91. And then, you know, I just was all over. So I ain't see him no more until like 1995 until I landed in the 4 building, C-74. And he had one side of Mar 4 lower locked down. And he had a team. And, you know, that leads into, you know, when we fought the Brownsville niggas and a bunch of other stuff, right? Saneter TV. I know Saneter TV because when me and Lux was battling, and Lux used to be on 125th selling his CDs, Saneter used to be out there with the House of Consciousness, you know, selling educational, informative, Afrocentric, you know, audio and visual material. I did an interview on Saneter like 6 years ago. He re-put the video, the interview up like a month ago, and it got like 65,000 views on YouTube the second time he put it up. So that interview is from 6 years ago, and a lot of that information applied to this day, right? Now, Gully TV. I know Gully TV because when I was battle rapping, and I was with Lions, then with Lux and them, you know, Gully TV used to come to 140th and 8th. You know, he always been cool with Black Harlem. And, you know, I think he filmed me a few times in the past, rapping or whatever. You know, he's part of that DVD era when it was Smack, Sub-Zero, The Come Up, Crack DVD, and a bunch of other DVDs and stuff. I don't really know Gully TV. I don't really know a lot about him. But, you know, we met and, you know, a few times. So a lot of all these individuals I'm telling you so far, I don't know their backstory really, like they backstory, like what they went through in their personal life with their mother and their family. Because, you know, we all knew each other from somehow bumping in the streets or prison or school or whatever. All these individuals I'm naming. It ain't like we grew up together and we sandbox or day ones. No. I met these people throughout my travels in life. I ran into Snow Billy during my 13 years, but I can't remember which jail. But I ran into Snow Billy And it was briefly, and he was a cool dude with me. Like, we was all right. It never was no staticky or nothing. You know what I'm saying? There never was no demonic temperature. And when I was bitten from 1995 to, the middle to late 2000s, the bloods had grew rapidly, and it was a lot of, they say this in the interview. So, Killer Kev said this, and CK say this in the interview. There was good bloods, there was bad bloods. There was troublemaker niggas that manipulated power, and then there was good dudes. It was dudes that started shit, and it was dudes that was on a black power consciousness shit. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, it didn't really matter to me, because I'm kind of like a renegade, radical kind of Muslim. And a lot of the Muslims I'm always around, we always, like all my close Muslim brothers, we was all on some radical shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes rep they flag, we rep that Kufi, we rep Islam, we Mujahideens, that mean Muslim warrior, and we was on our type of time. So, a lot of the bloods and all that, they was digging my energy because, I was on some, I'm radical out. So, that was that. But Stack Stone, I think I was with him somewhere, I don't remember. He'll probably remember more than me, because my name Manchow stood out and my Muslim name Iron Sheik. But I think I was with Stack Stone before too, I'm not sure. I never was with Killer Kev, and I never was with Soul B. I don't remember Soul B. But I was in C95 in 1997, because they brung me down for some robberies and stuff. I went up for 2 assault ones, which was with 2 attempt murders. They dropped it to assault ones. And then I got my number, and I came back down to continue to fight my robberies that I caught before I caught the 2 attempt murders. That's a whole nother story. But, so I say all this to say what? I'm just letting y'all know how I met each individual, right? So now let's fast forward to now. All these individuals have been blessed with a platform to dialogue with the people, get some YouTube views, make some money from YouTube, make some money from whoever become loyal followers to them, and give them donations or hit their super chat or whatever, right? All these individuals has been blessed to have this opportunity, right? So it's kind of like a form of entrepreneurship in a way, because you're not working for nobody and all you're doing is sitting in front of a camera talking what you know, or giving your opinion or giving facts on different stuff, right? So all these individuals is blessed to make some money. Now, we know from history and experience with hip-hop, R&B, rock and roll, and a bunch of other shit, right, that black people created. Once money is involved, compromising, corruption, and clarity enters the situation, right? Compromising, because when money is involved, people stop going against their natural instinct to do with appease others or what's going to get the money. Clarity, because the clarity diminishes, like the quality of the content diminishes, because they going to do whatever attracts the money. And the world is watching these individuals on YouTube and view these individuals as conscious brothers, all of them, right? But if all these individuals start bickering with each other and arguing with each other, and piggybacking each other's blogs, whether it's for views or because they really not liking what the other one said or whatever, right? The people who subscribe to y'all and view these individuals no longer tune in out of sincerity and yearning for intellectual content. They now log on and tune in for entertainment purposes, to be entertained, to laugh, or to be, for the drama. It becomes Jerry Springerish, Maury Povich, type shit. All these individuals have greater potential that they haven't exercised yet to be future leaders, to start companies and stuff like that, right? You have places in New York City like SOS, Save Our Streets, and different programs, Put the Guns Away, Project Benches, right? You have a bunch of positive programs that advocate against gun violence, that intervene with, violence amongst youth, and they speak to the youth and mentor them and try to influence them and inspire them, right? So a lot of these YouTubers or YouTube bloggers can do the same thing, but they positive, constructive content, right? But now, if everybody's bickering with each other, the young kids or the positive black women, the young kids who look at these dudes as potential leaders or OGs or father figures, now it's like, damn, they arguing with each other and they beefing with each other. Like, nah, I don't like that guy no more. Or I don't want to tune into this guy no more, because the law is gone. The prestigiousness is gone. The leadership qualities is diminishing because everybody's bickering and nagging with each other, right? I'm getting to our point. Just work with me. A lot of women that view in, because a lot of women is sapiosexual, a lot of successful women, or women who's college educated, or women who's just into education, is sapiosexual, right? So a lot of these women looking at these dudes like, yeah, these is conscious, strong brothers. They are potential leaders. I would love for my kids to follow them, or, I would love for one of these guys to be my husband or my king, right? But then they lose the interest of the women, because the women like, nah, these niggas gossiping about each other. They doing shit that women do. They bickering amongst each other, and who got the most views and who got the most subscribers, or who's this and who's that, who's the toughest, or who the most gangsterist. Now, I don't want this guy for my king or my leader. I don't want him to be a mentor to my child, because they deviate and then they start seeing weaknesses and flaws in these individuals when they start bickering amongst each other, right? Now, this is the point. Organized chaos can defeat unorganized structure. So I say this: organized chaos is the machine, right? Organized chaos is the oppressor. Unorganized structure is all these individuals who could be potential leaders, who can actually unite and team up and become a stronger force, but they not unified, so they're going to be easy to break apart, right? This go back from Africa to now. In Africa, you had tribalism. The Fulani tribe, the Ashanti tribe.